Usain Bolt. He is the fastest runner on the planet, setting the world record for the shortest 100 meters sprint time of 9.58 seconds.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Which club is the first to win Champions League?
That's very easy. Real Madrid. The first Champions League was won by Real Madrid during the 1955 and 1956 season.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're listening to Sports in a Jiffy on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM Lagos.
Top of the morning, sports fans, top of the morning listeners. Sports in the Jiffy is live on your radio. Thursday edition of the show today, 12th day in the month of February 2026. Here to preach the gospel sport to you for the next 15 minutes. All of the in-swingers, the lancer passes, the slams, and the dunks are taking you through some of the major stories that are currently making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sport. Don't forget, we're doing bits and pieces on the show this morning, taking reactions from all of the actions that went down last night in the European football scene, as well as other sports. Talk about the likes of basketball. That's talking about the NBA and also some tennis talks on the show this morning. Don't forget that the tour is still very much up and running right now. The WTA 1000 as well as the ATP tour happening right there in Doha. Our top story coming through from the world of tennis this morning is that Novak Djokovic has now withdrawn from the Doha, saying he wants to take a time off after the Australian Open. Other thoughts coming through from the world of sports on the show this morning, as well as taking stocks are coming through from the home front, the Nigerian Premier Football League. Matches have now been rescheduled. The games that has to do with Rivers United. Don't forget Rivers United at the time were representing on the continent, playing in the CAF Champions League, but right about now it looks like they've hit the end of the road already, and some of their matches have now been rescheduled. We'll take you through some of those matches to look forward to. The match day 22, match day 25, match day 23, match day 24, and 26 matches have all been rescheduled for Rivers United. Right there, we'll tell you more about that in the course of the show this morning. Ayodeji Ajiboye is my name. Absolute honor to be your host on the show. Here's a short reminder that we're streaming live on our Facebook fan page at Impact Radio 102.1 FM. You can as well join us on our YouTube channel at Impact 102.1 FM. To the street of the back of the net right about now, let's get the show on the road. And as always, we'll be starting with us coming through from the home front on the show this morning, because I always tell you that charity, they say what? Charity begins from home. In other sports this morning, Yellow Green stalwart Isaac Danladi and the female Yellow Green Kende Amusa have been named the best male and female cricket players in Nigeria in the year 2025 by the Africa's Premier Cricket Recognition Platform. Danladi was the leading danger man for Nigeria in the year under review, cementing his status as one of Africa's most consistent all-rounder. The 23-year-old left-handed batter and orthodox spinner has amassed 23 T20 international appearances, scoring 348 runs at an average of 19.33 with a strike rate exceeding 105. It's been said that his bowling economy of 4.89 across 16 wickets demonstrates control and also efficiency. While for Amusa, the 19-year-old also won the Young Player of the Year award, reflecting a smooth transition from the under-19 to the senior side. Amusa featured for Nigeria at the ICC Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup in Malaysia, playing a crucial role in the junior female Yellow Green's historic upset victory against reigning senior women's World Cup champion New Zealand. And away from that, right now, still talking about other sport on the show this morning, taking stories coming through from the home front. Big stories I lined up for your listening pleasure today. Quickly, the Nigerian Volleyball Federation have now announced that the 2026 President Beach Volleyball Cup will be taking place from February 12 to 18 at the Muritala Mohammed Square in Kaduna. The national championship, regarded as one of the Federation's flagship beach volleyball events, will be featuring competitions in the senior men and the women's categories, as well as under 17 boys and girls division. The inclusion of youth and senior categories underscores the NVBF's commitment to grassroots development and the creation of a structured pathway to elite performance. Sports in a Jiffy right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Away from other sports on the show this morning, quickly going straight into the world of football. And like I mentioned to you at the start of the show, a couple of rescheduled matches in the Nigerian Premier Football League, especially the matches that has to do with Rivers United. As it's been said, that there's been a couple of notifications flying around for some teams. The likes of Barau FC will also be having their game for this Sunday being rescheduled. It's been said that following the unavailability of the Sonny Abacha Stadium in Kano for the game on Sunday, the game has now been brought forward to hold on Saturday, 14th February, against the initial Sunday, 15th February. It's been said that the stadium is not going to be available to host that match right there. And other matches that were also rescheduled, like I mentioned, especially the ones that has to do with Rivers United. The game against Kwara United will now be played on Wednesday, 18th of February 2026, right there in Ilorin. They will play at home against Barau FC, which is going to be played on 25th of February. The game against Shooting Stars at Abeokuta will now be played on 12th of April, while the game against Niger Tornadoes right at home at Lafia will be played on 19th of April. That much from the NPFL right there. Don't forget our matches will continue in the match week 25 of the Nigerian Premier Football League later this weekend. And away from that, right now, quickly making a stop on the continent as we speak, it's been said that the Confederation of African Football has now sent a team of technical experts to the three co-hosts of the 2027 African Cup of Nations. Talk about Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya in a bid to inspect facilities ahead of the tournament. Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya who won the bid to host the next edition of the tournament, tagged Pamoja, which stands for Togetherness, ahead of the joint bid by Nigeria and Benin Republic. The tripartite hosting will mark the end of CAF's biennial format of the tournament, according to CAF President Patrice Motsepe, who announced during the last edition in Morocco that the next AFCON after 2027 will be staged in 2028, while subsequent editions will be holding every 4 years. The CAF technical experts visit to the East African countries will also be highlighted by Motsepe's visit to Tanzania on Friday, with the inspection visit by the technical experts kicking off this week and will run until Tuesday, February 17. The Nigerian Premier Football League. Once again, the Nigerian Premier Football League are set to have punished Wiki Tourist FC after crowd violence during their March the 25 game against Katsina United on February 8, 2006. The league said Wiki Tourist failed to provide proper security at the stadium. Fans invaded restricted areas, threw stones and objects at players and officials, and caused injuries. Some officials and away players were held back for hours after the match, and the game was delayed for 18 minutes. Because of these actions, the NPFL fined Wiki Tourist a total of 7.5 million naira, and the club was also fined for poor security, injury to officials, bad behavior by supporters, throwing dangerous objects, and holding officials and players after the match. Wiki Tourists have 48 hours to accept the punishment or choose to face a disciplinary panel. The league warned that a week of failed appeal could lead to more penalties. And away from the home front right about now, let's look at Skidadu straight to Europe, bringing first coming through from other sports on the show this morning. I'll be starting with the world of tennis. Like I mentioned, a couple of WTA Tour events and also ATP Tour events currently on the way right about now. I'll be telling you more about that right here on Sports in a Jiffy on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Don't forget that this is 72 in bits and in pieces, tiptoeing through some of the major stories that are currently making the rounds in the ever exciting ever dynamic and sometimes controversial world of sports. Whether you're a sports person or someone love the thrill of the game, or you're an athlete yourself, this is the right place for you to be, because the early bird has gone around the world to catch the scores, and I am more than willing to serve them to you. Right then, the world of tennis, the International Tennis Hall of Fame said yesterday that Roger Federer's induction ceremony has been sold out in just 2 minutes after the Hall added 1,000 more tickets for an outdoor watch party. The Hall said it anticipated the excitement about the first man to win 20 Grand Slam singles title, who will be inducted in the Newport-based shrine on August 29, along with broadcaster Mari Carrillo. In addition to the 900 tickets originally available for the induction ceremony, the Hall will open its 3,600-seat stadium for a watch party, and even so, the 4,500 tickets were gone within 2 minutes, according to the spokeswoman of the Hall, Megan Epps. And away from tennis talks right about now, quickly let's make a stop in the world of basketball, bringing you a recap of some of the actions that went down in the NBA earlier this morning. Don't forget, some big games definitely went down this morning, and this is going to be the final game for this week before we go straight into having some what I will call All-Star game for our viewing pleasure this week. If you're a basketball enthusiast, most definitely you gotta be excited about this particular one. Quickly bringing update from the game that were played late this morning. The Dallas Maverick rookie Kopu Flag has let the midfield sprain that will sideline him through the All-Star weekend. That's according to the team earlier today. He's not expected to be available immediately after the break. An MRI scan earlier reviewed the sprain, which occurred during the Dallas game at the Phoenix just last night. Flag, with the number 1 pick in last year's draft and Rookie of the Year frontrunner, will miss Thursday's road game against the Los Angeles Lakers and the Rising Stars game at All-Star weekend. The Mavericks' first game after the break is at the Minnesota Timberwolves on February 20. Dallas has lost 8 straight games despite Flag 19 averaging 29.7 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 4.3 assists during that span. He's now said to be averaging 20.4 points, 6.6 rebounds, and also 4.1 assists for the season. Elsewhere, Kevin Durant joked earlier today that he's playing on an old edge squad alongside LeBron James, Stephen Curry, who is now sidelined, and also Kawhi Leonard at the 2026 NBA All-Star game. But the 37-year-old downplayed concerns about how hard this team can play. According to him, don't forget that the NBA announced the rosters for the mid-season showcase event last week, splitting 25 names onto 3 squads. It debut of another new All-Star format, and this one a US as a SWORD round-robin tournament on Sunday at the LA Clippers home in Inglewood, right there in California. According to Kevin Durant now, he's saying that you should ask the Europeans and the world team they are going to compete. The Houston Rockets star has said while he was laughing, says if you look at the likes of Luka Doncic and also Nikola Jokic now, let's go back and look at what they do in the All-Star game. Is that a competition? Big question coming through from the big KD right there. And away from that now, quickly making a stop in the world of football, bringing you some of the reactions from the actions that went down last night. The talk about getting sacked in the morning is now getting more real than you can imagine, because earlier today, Nottingham Forest have also now sacked Sean Dyche just after 4 months in charge of the team, and plenty of talks about who is going to be replacing him right there at the City Ground. Possibly they will be holding talks with Vitor Pereira, another man who will be looking to take charge of that Nottingham Forest side as we speak. Vitor Pereira, who has also been out of job since he was sacked by Wolverhampton Wanderers earlier this season. Dyche will definitely offer the Premier League award last week, but as it is right now, is not going to be a part of that anymore. Football, just as someone said the other day, can be very cruel. Matches to go down later this evening. Brentford will be hosting Arsenal, a must-win game for Arsenal right there in London if they really want to give Manchester City a run for the league as we speak. Because don't forget, Manchester City were 3-0 winners over Fulham last night. And that is definitely putting a bit of pressure on Arsenal right now, because 3 points separate both sides. And if Arsenal could not get a win against Brentford later tonight, then it means that the title race will now be getting with more pressure. Atletico Madrid will be hosting Barcelona in the Spanish Copa del Rey semi-finals at about 9 p.m. Nigerian time this evening. Still taking more thoughts coming through from the world of sports on the show this morning. This is Sports in a Jiffy right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, bringing you some of the latest stories coming through from the world of football. Quickly, one man that has been celebrated for his longevity right now is definitely James Milner, who has now equaled Gareth Barry's all-time Premier League appearance record after he was introduced off the substitute bench in the first half of Brighton's match with Aston Villa last night. Milner replaced Carlos Baleba after just 22 minutes to make his 153rd appearance in the top flight, with 12 matches remaining in the season. And the versatile 40-year-old showing no signs of considering retirement. It is all but certain that the former England international will break in the record of his former Aston Villa and Manchester City teammate in the coming weeks. Sports in a Jiffy on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, and that's how much we're taking on the show for this morning. Many thanks to everyone who's been a part of the show. It's such a reminder that you can keep track with these updates and more by following us across all social media platforms. We were live on our Facebook fan page at Empire Radio 102.1 FM, as well as on YouTube as Impact 102.1 FM. Ayode Jajibo is signing out this morning. Sports in a Jiffy returns tomorrow from 10 a.m. down to the flip side of 10, and also in the evening I will serve you the Sports Up show tomorrow from 5 p.m. down to 6 p.m. where we'll be doing 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, 1 hour of views, reviews, and all of the major interviews. I'll see you when I see you once again. Go out there, be the best version of yourself. Don't forget to be kind, because kindness is cool. If you find yourself out there today and you meet someone without a smile on their face, try as much as possible to give them a bit of yours. I always preach it to you that you can be the rainbow in someone else's dark cloud. Good morning.
From the greens of golf to the court of tennis and basketball, the octagon of UFC to the square room for boxing, track of Formula One,